Hey guys, it's your dude out here again, DJ and Shawni, and we're at another topic. This one, she is very. She loves this right here. We've been talking and discussing this for a while, and I didn't bring up all the articles at once. I'll just search them and pause and shit and cut it out. But let's do it again. Round 2. Let's go for the day.
Why are we still talking about this? Why is this still a thing?
You gotta read the
Oh my god. Okay. Justice League actor Ray Fisher accuses Joss Whedon of changing an actor's skin tone. Accuses WB execs of racism. Whose skin tone did he change?
His and a couple other people.
If I could reach through this screen and punch him in the face, I would.
Now, I know I've now started consistently trying to get content on this channel, and I'm also going to make a BitChute. So if you don't want to be on YouTube, I'll have this stuff archived on BitChute. Anyway, but yeah, we've talked about this, and we feel that Ray Fisher is out here trying to make a name for himself because, you know, his terrible acting in Justice League. Apparently, there are some people within, you know, the critic side of, I guess, YouTube. I don't know exactly what they call it. There's a bunch of people. You've seen them before. If you stumble on my channel is pretty similar. And in terms of pop culture, I'm also going to be talking about serious stuff. Anywho, you've seen them talk about, you know, how Ray Fisher might be a good actor and things like that. Ray Fisher is not a good actor. I don't care if Joss Whedon changed the tone to be lighter and stuff like that. And fundamentally, these people seem to not understand these characters, whether it's Joss Whedon, whether it's Zack Snyder. And that's another thing. I'm one of the people that are not really excited for the Snyder cut for Justice League. They're putting a lot of money into it. They're doing a lot of reshoots, and I mean, your boy Shawni's favorite Joker is going to be in that one, Jared Leto.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and somebody else was supposed to be in there. He was Slade.
Oh yeah, let's just.
Or it was somebody else.
It's Slade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's just let's just cram. Was it Slade or Deadshot? I can't remember. Yeah, let's just cram all of the.
I think you guys are being way far more optimistic about this.
I feel like this is like a turducken. It's just an immense amount of stupidity stuffed inside of itself. Just fantastic.
Okay, so there we go. I'll start reading it now. So this comes from Bounding in the Comics. Justice League actor Ray Fisher has finally provided some specifics regarding the accusations against director Joss Whedon, as well as a number of Warner Brothers executives, including Jeff Johns and John Berg. I like how Jim Lee isn't part of that. I could have swore Jim Lee was part of this whole.
I don't remember.
I gotta look that because I could have swore he was. At the end of June, Fisher took to Instagram where he shared a video of him at San Diego Comic-Con. Basically, this was like he felt that Joss Whedon was the right person to take over at the time. And like he went on Twitter and he captioned and he said that, you know, he'd like to take this back. Oh, sorry, Instagram, not Twitter. And he said that he retracts this. Justice League actor accused Joss Whedon of abuse. And at the beginning of July, Fisher accused Joss Whedon of abuse and unprofessionalism. Now, the funny thing is, during that in July, he never said anything specific about what exactly Joss Whedon did. What exactly was the abuse he felt on set and things of that nature. But now he's starting to, that's why I said finally, he's starting to say, oh, well, he changed skin tones of characters and things like that. But when you look at Ray Fisher and you look at Cyborg, I don't really see.
They aren't a different skin tone. They are not. I feel like Ray Fisher laid outside by his like apartment building's pool, because I know he got no damn mansion. I feel like he was just laying out by his condo's like pool and got like half a shade darker from like a tan and went inside and rewatched Justice League just to see himself and inflate his undeserving ego all over again.
Well, remember, he's a stage actor.
Oh,
he comes from you know,
he's a really bad actor. He's not off. He's
Broadway
off Broadway.
Oh, he's not even Broadway.
He's like off. 6 streets down and 10 blocks over Broadway.
So this was the original tweet where he says Joss Whedon on-set treatment of the cast and crew of Justice League was gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable. He was enabled in many ways by Jeff Johns and John Berg. Accountability is greater than entertainment. And at the end of July,
I feel like these people grossly overuse the greater than symbol as of lately. I don't think I've seen the greater than symbol this much since the 10th grade. Since 10th grade math. Like, come on, fam.
He also said, I understand there's full and well and personal and professional risk associated with speaking out against a abhorrent behavior of Joss Whedon and his enablers, Jeff Johns, and I will not relent. This is good trouble, necessary trouble. Now, mind you, if he was really scared, he wouldn't have came out. Because at this day and age, a lot of people are emboldened and feel that it's very easy for them to throw.
I don't like the statement that he has here. This is good trouble, necessary trouble. What risk, sir? You are living in an age where literally the fact that you are black and disgruntled in Hollywood makes you some sort of precious lamb where people would want to come to your defense at all times. The hell are you talking about? I've never seen a grown-ass man be this much of a little bitch.
Oh, you guys should have heard her with the Pedro Pascal stuff. That's another
that's another little McBitch over there.
Fisher will follow up a tweet in August accusing Jeff Johns of threatening his career. And this is the same thing that what's his name, Finn, the dude that played Finn from Star Wars, John Boyega, where he's over here like, oh, I'm speaking out and stuff because I'm speaking out and I don't care what it does to my career. And he's talking to his followers and they're eating this up. And I'm like, you think right now with all these companies talking about Black Lives Matter and stuff, and they're telling white actors that they can't voice other characters and stuff, that your career is really in jeopardy by you saying that you're disgruntled and you feel...
You know what's wild too about the John Boyega thing is I'm like, listen, man, here's what messed up your career. You were in freaking Star Wars. You were in Disney Star Wars. You got sidelined for literally a flat-chested 12-year-old boy in Daisy Ridley. Like, you literally got the okey doke of okey dokes. They said, you know what? We're going to get a black guy in here. And maybe you could be a Jedi and maybe you won't. But
they marketed him as he was going to be a Jedi.
They made it seem in all the previews that he was going to be the next Jedi.
Not even the previews, but the toys. And you remember the toys?
Yes. And you know what's wild is I didn't care about a black Jedi. I didn't care about that. I was like, oh, look, a new Jedi.
His story seemed really cool, though. What it should have been, which is he was an ex-stormtrooper and then he ends up becoming a Jedi fighting it.
That would have been amazing. But leave it to Ryan Roundhead Johnson
and JJ doesn't get a pass
and JJ Abrams and Bad Reboot in order to decide that they're going to just completely overlook the easiest plot line. That's the crazy thing. They literally decided to reach up their own asses to overlook the easiest and most effective plot line to do this. The cluster that we
just
have.
Because they felt that people wouldn't accept Rey if they just came straight out and was like, Rey is the new Jedi.
It's like they think that people with like boobs and vaginas are like this hated race of people. Nobody hates us. Nobody hates women. I don't, except for people who really do hate women. But
Nobody hates women except people that really do hate women.
That's a super small minority of people. Like, stop acting like women are walking around with a target on their backs every day. Like, I don't feel threatened in everyday situations. I don't go to Target with the idea of that I'm going to get tomatoes thrown at me or freaking thrown into the back of someone's vehicle or beaten up because I'm a woman. Like,
and yeah, so he says this was during when he put this out, this was in August. He said, during the LA reshoots for Justice League, Jeff Johns summoned me to his office to belittle and admonish me and my agents' attempt to take grievances up the proper chain of command. He made thinly veiled threats to my career. Now, mind you, all of this came out once the Snyder release.
Yeah, once Zack Snyder was like, oh yeah, we're definitely, Snyder Cut's coming, it's going to be on HBO Max, whatever. All of a sudden, he had all these grievances to air out, and he was speaking with his chest. He was putting the bass in his voice.
I also thought it was funny that nobody backed him, but I think
Jason Momoa,
Aquaman.
Yeah, and that was, oh God, I've never seen in my life such a bastardization of a character like what they did with Aquaman. And I'm like, you know what? I know why you guys wanted Momoa, because he's Samoan, he's exotic looking. Because honestly, let's be it was for the women's. Let's be honest here, okay? Let's be honest. All right, it was for fan service. I know what you guys are doing. I get it. But at the same time, the movie wasn't that good.
Yeah. Mind you, I still to this day have not watched Aquaman. I was sick the day that
Consider yourself lucky.
Shawni and our friends went to the movies to watch it. I got really, really sick, and they didn't really like it. Mainly Shawni
super
didn't like
underwhelmed. I was very underwhelmed. I mean, CGI water is always hard to do anyway.
Yeah,
but
not hating on that.
It was not very good. And then you've got this. Why is Aquaman a bro? Why is everything? Yeah, like what is that? What is that?
Broke man. After 5 weeks of interviews and various cast and crew, at Warner Media's finally launched an independent third-party investigation to get to the heart of this toxic and abusive work environment created during the Justice League reshoots. This is a massive step forward. Like I always feel that people that talk like this in an investigation I feel they're bullshitting. I always feel the people that are the loudest.
You wouldn't be wrong because when they tried to do the proper investigation, he then decided to half step and drag his feet.
He was dragging his feet. He said he didn't want to talk to the person. He wasn't comfortable talking to them individually.
He wanted his own investigator.
And I was like, when he said he didn't want to talk to the investigator individually, I was like, you could just say, hey, I want my lawyer there, I want my agent there, so on and so forth, and we can have the talk. And you can also request a third party and then say, I also want to do a third party investigator as well, or hire your own investigator and say, hey, I have my own investigator. If we're going to do this, I want another party as well, backing or, looking into this rather than just your internal, investigation, which is, it's fine. But the way he's going about doing this, it's reminiscent of Jussie Smollett. It very is reminiscent of
Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Smollett is what Jesse is, and Bubba Wallace. It's very reminiscent of that. I mean,
Bubba Smollett. Mm-hmm.
Bubba actually kind of worked. He did work with in NASCAR and stuff, but the excuses came fine. I bet a bunch of you probably know exactly about the excuses that came throughout that whole process and stuff like that, and that was another annoying thing. In subsequent tweet he added, I believe this investigation will show Jeff Johns, Joss Whedon, John Berg, and others, now he's including others, grossly abused their power during the uncertainty of AT&T's merger with Time Warner. Time Warner, thank you Warner Media and AT&T for making strides to ensure a safer workplace for all. On September 4th, he says, so you can better understand how this goes. After speaking out about Justice League, I received a phone call from the president of DC Films where he attempted to throw Joss Whedon and John Berg
under the bus.
Well, he said that he felt that the president of DC Films threw Josh and Berg under the bus in hopes that he would relent to Jeff Johns, and he said he will not. And then accountability that A&E accountability rated and entertainment. Warner would release a statement through a spokesperson. This is when I started talking to Shawni about this in July, and Fisher's representatives asked the DC's president would talk to Mr. Fisher about the concerns of production. They spoke to Hamada, asked him to prize his role as Cyborg in the upcoming Flash movie, and so on and so forth.
You know what I think happened here? Because he talked about how his role was diminished and he was no longer the heart and soul of the film. Yeah, I was going to get to that too. You know what I think happened? I think Joss Whedon came in and saw what they had.
Saw that he was a bad actor.
And saw that he was a very bad actor.
Bad film actor.
He was a bad, okay, he was a bad
Because we don't know how bad he is on stage, because he could be a good stage actor, but stage and film are...
He was a bad film actor because he literally was he was a talking paperweight for a good portion of the movie.
They made Cyborg more robot than person.
Gosh, it was really bad.
And he didn't want to do Booyah. You didn't want to do all of these things that would make him the heart and soul.
He didn't want to do anything that would make him actually Cyborg. And that was the thing that killed me, because I'm like, why on earth would you take the role as this character and then refuse to do anything that the character does? Do you not know anything about this character? Maybe you should pick up a comic book. Maybe you should do that. Or maybe not. Maybe you should just relinquish the role to someone more competent and better than you. But I think what ended up happening is it all looked like crap. I think all of his scenes probably looked really bad, and it wasn't anything that could be fixed in editing, and reshoots weren't going to help it. So you know what? Joss Whedon said, let's diminish him a little bit. Let's give him a smaller role, less pressure, less him in the spotlight.
Remember when Josh came in, the ball was already pretty much done with this. They were far in the recording and filming at this point.
The damn movie.
I mean, this wouldn't be the first time because apparently Zack Snyder wanted Zack Snyder, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zack Snyder wanted to do a multi-film story, kind of like an Endgame.
Like he wanted it to kind of be like Harry Potter in a sense. It was one of the Harry Potter movies. The 7th movie was split into 2 parts.
Or like Endgame and Infinity War. Mm-hmm. Like he wanted to split it to where it, he'd have a longer runtime to tell the whole story. From
a business standpoint, who knew when you saw how Batman Superman did.
And first of all, Batman Superman was all that boy, and those 30 minutes didn't really help his movie. I don't care what any of you say. So the extra 30 minutes did not really help the issues, which is Zack Snyder does not think or understand these characters. He doesn't understand Batman. I'm going to find the video and put it in here and insert it right now probably of where he said
he calls the fans whiny because they were like, Batman shouldn't be killing people because historically he doesn't kill people.
Yeah, because he called the fan base babies and stuff. Like they're not grown up, so they don't understand. And then he was like,
so I'm going to make Batman brand people. Why?
Yeah. Oh, like Batman killed a guy. I'm like, fuck. Really? Like, I'm like, wake the fuck up. It's like, yes. It's like, yes. That's all. So like, I guess that's what I'm saying about once you've lost your virginity to this fucking movie, and then you come and say to me something about oh, my superhero wouldn't do that. I'm like, are you serious? I'm down the fucking road on that. You know what I mean?
Our issues, me and Shawni's issues are more, he doesn't understand the characters. So which is why the product is bad, which is why you got Ezra Miller running on skates instead of actually running, which is why you got Broken, which is why you have Ben Affleck Batman and
doing no detective work.
Yeah.
And deciding he's gonna be Tony Stark and he's gonna go around and assemble the Avengers.
I think that was more Whedon.
That pissed me off.
I think that was more Whedon's.
Well, yeah, that pissed me off. Why are you? The whole point is for people not to know you're Batman. Why are you going around out of the supers? Shit, why are you recruiting people to begin with? Like, what are you doing? Even you watch Justice League Unlimited. You watch. Any of the DC movies, there's a point in, I believe it's the Justice League Doom it's Justice League Doom, I think, and it takes place around the Tower of Babel story where he has a contingency plan to take out every one of the Justice League members. The information gets stolen, and somebody goes around trying to take out other Justice League members, and they basically were like, we can't have you in the league because you're dangerous, and he was like, all right, fuck this shit, I'm out. He just very much was like, all right, I'll work alone. But it's just.
So, and then this is the part I said earlier. I thought this is the part where I was like, yeah, this doesn't sound right. Where he wanted the investigation. They wanted media eventually does initiate the investigation, even though they felt like there was no reason why they should do the investigation. For what they seen, they felt that it was false because Warner did put out that press statement, and he said, and then later you found out the investigator had attempted to talk to Fisher and discuss the concerns, but to date, at that point, this is the release they had where they're saying that he declined to speak with the investigator, and Warner Brothers remains committed to the accountability that he is asking for and the well-being of every cast member and crew of each production, and it remains committed to the investigation for any specific and credible allegations of misconduct, which thus far Fisher had failed to provide. That's why now it seems like he's trying to find anything he can to say that, because initially he did not specifically say what was going on. Now all of a sudden it's, they retoned my skin and people's skin and things like that, and things of that nature. You want to say anything? You're kind of looking.
I'm reading this and I'm just like,
well, you got
you know what?
Oh yeah, Ray Fisher. It says, thank you for all the support at the scene through WP's pictures. In response to the statement, actually, let me go up here. In response to the thank you statement, he said, thank you for all and support for seeing through WB Pictures' desperate and scattershot attempt to discredit me and continue to protect those in power. I met with the investigator via Zoom on August 26th. Below is my email I sent to the team, and immediately after emails read, just going off the line with the investigator, had to end the interview early before going into detail with him. He's definitely been put on the case by Warner Bros. Pictures and not Warner Media. His findings will go directly and solely to Warner Bros. Pictures and legal. It continued. He also had another person on the line as a witness, which we weren't made aware of, which is fine. You don't have to say what your witness is. I told him I needed to have a rep on the line as security for myself. He tried to keep me on the line, but I told him I need to consult with the team before proceeding. Can we jump on a call to discuss soon? And this is on August 26th, and back here, this was in what, July?
Yeah, July.
Yeah, so then he started moving forward with it, and SAG-AFTRA is the union for actors. And then followed that up with another tweet where he wrote, "It's also worth noting that I made clear to the world on August 21st that I would be vetting the investigator to ensure a fair and protected process for all witnesses. WB Pictures has escalated this to an entirely different level, but I'm ready to meet the challenge." And it just honestly, all of this sounds like somebody that's just like they're grasping at straws and they're trying to keep a narrative together. And I mean, I don't believe him.
Nope.
Well, you guys say you don't have anything to say?
I don't. I believe him. I don't believe him at all. And this whole thing where the headline where he said that they changed his skin color, maybe he's been inside like all the time from quarantine, maybe. So maybe he looks a little lighter when he gets up and looks at himself in the mirror now versus in the movie. Oh man, when I tell you this deserves no attention. He deserves no attention. This deserves no attention.
I honestly feel like what we said, where he wasn't getting any other acting gigs because of his poor performance in the movie.
He was one of the worst things in Justice League, and there were a lot of bad things in Justice League. Yeah. But he was one of the things I enjoyed the least. I enjoyed the most. I unenjoyed, whatever. I didn't enjoy his character. I didn't enjoy his interpretation, and I actually really love Cyborg. I am a Cyborg fan, but he decided to just come in there and be shit. And I'm like, sometimes it's better to hold longer casting sessions, to look longer and harder for an actor. And just because you want an actor that's specifically a certain skin color or a specific race doesn't mean you need to choose the first Joe Schmo off the street who walks in and says, "I would like the role."
And then, he keeps going.
Because he has no film credits prior to this.
No, it's all staged.
Personally, I would be looking at him like, I don't think you'd be the best fit, especially considering the DC cinematic universe was already on shaky ground because of Batman, Superman. After that, I'm looking to get everything right. I'm checking my boxes, I'm dotting my I's, I'm crossing my T's. I'm not trying to have another incident where I'm wasting more money on a film versus being able to create more money for the film, get more money from the film. Like, I just feel as though Zack Snyder was like, he just closed his eyes in a room full of black guys. It was like, him.
Okay. So that's that's the issue we're coming to here. And then he puts out something else on October 13th. And then in Forbes, that's where this came from, the Forbes interview. He stated that the erasure of people of color from the 2017 theatrical version of Justice League was neither an accident nor coincidence. Now we're finally getting a specific accusation. It is all of October.
Wait a minute. So didn't the movie come out? When did the movie come out? In 2017? The erasure of people of color from the 2017, like,
theatrical version. He's talking about that version. Yes. Neither incident nor. But I don't.
This movie came out in 2017. Did it, or was it 2018?
I believe it was 2017.
You mean from the time that the movie came out? Because he's seen the advanced screening. I'm pretty positive with how highly he thinks of himself. He probably walked into some movie theater and watched it, by himself, and when like a normal person or unlike a normal person. He probably has the copy of it at home to watch on DVD. He's probably watched this over and over and over again.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Because you're going off. Hold on. He's not talking about himself. He said he got word. Listen to this. Fisher stated, "What set my soul on fire has forced me to speak out against Joss Whedon this summer was my becoming informed that Joss Whedon had ordered the complexion of an actor of color to be changed in post-production because he did not like the color of their skin tone." He is not talking about himself. He is just saying some random actor, we don't know who the actor is, their complexion was changed.
This could be an extra for all we know.
It doesn't matter if it's an extra. I mean,
Actually,
you shouldn't do it. But at the same time, think about that. That he's
here's from a film and photography standpoint. Maybe their skin tone wasn't changed. Maybe
it was lighting.
Maybe it was lighting. Maybe they cleaned up blemishes in post. Maybe they changed some of the effects in the scene. I mean,
you're giving credence to this. The fact that even. I'm thinking that he's talking about himself, but he's not talking about himself. He's just talking about some random actor, and the fact that the issue before is where he never gave actual statement.
Someone apparently brought it to his attention.
Yeah, someone brought it to his attention. He never actually.
So from when the movie came out, and he's watched it I'm positive he's watched this movie over and over again to see him his freaking self. You mean to tell me from then to now he's just now been made aware
after the fact that they said that he never had a specific complaint? That's what I'm getting at.
Ray Fisher is a jackass, and he can continue on this. He can continue on his crusade or whatever. Listen. This same man who Google pictures of Ray Fisher prior to this point. My boy here had a gap that you could drive a car through. If he can change his teeth to make sure he gets some acting gigs, I'm pretty sure they can clean up the color of a scene in post that would and this anonymous someone brought it to your attention. I don't believe that.
Also, we don't know who the actor is.
Don't believe it. It's probably
it's
probably like some coloring got cleaned up, like some scene coloring got cleaned up, and then he just pulled this excuse out of the air. Not even. Nothing is probably changed.
I don't even think it's happened. You keep trying to give validation. No, I don't even think this happened.
More than likely, nothing happened, and he was like, man. People want a reason as to why I'm saying that there was abuse on set and why I'm mad.
But I can't come up with a specific reason.
I can't. Now, so you know what I'm gonna do like J.J. Abrams and Ryan Roundhead Johnson, and I'm gonna reach up the farthest crevice of my ass and pull it out. He can go ahead and just shove his whole body back up there.
I think we're almost done with this. He stated prior to Justice League reshoot process, blatantly racist conversations were had. And entertainment that he went further along into the Forbes article, and he said this, and it's on multiple occasions by the former and current top level executives of Warner, decision makers that participate in those racist conversations with Jeff John Berg and the current Warner Brothers group. Okay, what was the conversations? Can you give me a? He
said that it's just an abridged version because he's going to talk about it more once the investigation is over.
Okay,
yeah, sure.
My bad. He later added a lot of these guys were doing was in an effort to prevent themselves from being fired during the AT&T merger with Time Warner. I mean, is this malicious? Is this I'm just covering my ass because, we don't know, because with a merger that big, you don't know what's going to happen, especially with underperforming DC EU that it has been underperforming.
It's just so dumb. It's just so freaking dumb.
Yeah, he said that he planned to get more specifics. That Rachel Thompson were only aware of after he spoke out against Joss Whedon. These conversations were reported by me and other people in the room. I wasn't made aware until after I had already spoken out about Joss Whedon.
Let's talk about the overarching fact before he got to this skin color thing. Right after he made his claims about Joss Whedon, he went and thanked Zack Snyder for believing in him, for trusting him, for always feeling as though he was the best. I think that pretty much sums up everything that's going on here. This
I
is
think
essentially
he was trying to secure his, and then you got the Flash movie, because this also ties in with the Flash movie that they're trying to do to essentially reset the DCEU, which would be Flashpoint. So, and we saw earlier where they talked about giving him a role in the said Flash movie, a prominent role. So
this is the worst case of ass kissing to get where you want to go that I've ever seen. Hey, is Zack's dick heavy in your mouth? Is that what it is, man? Like. So.
I mean, this is a long. I'll link the article if you really want to read it, because I'm not gonna sit through here and go through the whole thing. But I mean, that's basically our thoughts on Ray Fisher, because Ray Fisher mad over low ball. This was September 17th.
You have no other film.
And then how you performed in Justice League was not good. I didn't even know about this.
You have no other film. I've heard of this. He has no other film credits other than this movie, and I just, for the love of everything, can we wrap up the DCEU so he can go back to obscurity? I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah.
So, all right, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Again, BitChute's coming soon. I'll have that link there soon. And yeah, appreciate you guys giving me the time of day. I really do. All right, you guys have a great day.
See ya.
Bye.